Hello, it's Daniel here. Today I decided to make a video about Cambly. What is Cambly? Cambly is an online English teaching website. I've been teaching on Cambly for about 2.5 months now, and I have met over 100 students, and I have taught for over 1,200 minutes. So do the math on that to figure out how many hours that is straight of teaching. But they put it out in minutes, and I don't feel like doing the math right now. So here is just a general review about Cambly. It could be a little while because I'm going to go over some cons as well as some pros to teaching on Cambly versus other websites, but just Cambly as a whole. So let's just start by saying, why did I start teaching on Cambly? I decided to start teaching on Cambly because, I teach English online for another company, basically as full-time as you can get, working 5 days a week while living in Asia. I'm able to teach online at nighttime here as well as daytime on the weekends. But on the weekdays, I can't teach during the day because over here in Asia, when you teach online, it's usually to kids, the bigger companies. It's usually to kids, and during the daytime, everybody is busy. So it's, the kids are in class. So there's no work during the daytime. There's no work. So, but Cambly is 24 hours. So I can work anytime. You can work at any time and teach people all over the world. So that is the main reason why I decided to start teaching at Cambly. So I'm going to start with the cons of working for Cambly. And the reason why I'm starting with the cons of working for Cambly is because there's only about 2 that I can think of right now. The pay is low compared to other teaching websites or companies online, and it can feel a little bit more repetitive and boring than the other websites. So I'll get into explaining why specifically that. But as for the pay, you get paid 17 cents per minute, which equals out to $10.20 an hour, which really isn't that bad considering that I am living in Asia, but specifically right now I'm in Vietnam. I was in Cambodia, but the pay isn't that bad living here, but compared to the other company that I work for, I make about $16.50 to $17 an hour with that company, plus some bonuses here and there. So yeah, the pay is a little bit lower, and you're usually not going to be making that hour straight. In other words, you're not going to be working straight for an hour because of how Cambly works, which I'll probably make another video just talking about exactly how Cambly works, and I might even make a tutorial, if people are interested, a tutorial as to how to get great hours with Cambly. Not just great hours, but how to use the system best for you. I've learned some ways to help myself out so that I don't feel overwhelmed, or I'm not worried about giving myself too many hours or waiting until the last minute to add hours. But I'm kind of going off subject. So, let's see here. Okay, so back to why it feels repetitive. So the reason why I said it feels repetitive and maybe a little bit boring is because you're meeting a lot of new students, which is great, but you're kind of having the same conversations because you haven't met this person before. So it always starts out the same. Hello, what is your name? Why are you studying English? How can I help you? Right, that's kind of the conversation. And of course it's going to be different because people have different interests, they're studying for different reasons, but the conversations generally stay the same. Plus, Many of your students are going to be 5-minute students where they're just getting a tutorial, not a tutorial, an introduction to Cambly to learn to see what it offers. And most of that is just me trying to explain to them how using Cambly could benefit them. But even though it's a 5-minute tutorial, you do get paid for that. Not a tutorial intro to Cambly. So, when you talk to these people, if it's more than a 5-minute conversation, most of the students that I've met just want to have an open conversation. In other words, you talk about anything, right? You maybe ask them what they want to talk about, what they're interested in, just have conversation with them and correct their English along the way. For me, since I've gained more experience teaching, I kind of find something that they're interested in, and I go down that road and try to find ways to grow on that to improve their English. Maybe we'll start talking about English idioms, or we'll start talking about business English, and I'll pull up a good business English tutorial, kind of tutorial lesson. Haha, yeah. So, yeah, that is... So yeah, as I said, it can feel a bit repetitive doing that over and over and over again. But especially after 4 hours. If you're doing it for 4 hours and you meet somebody and talk to them for 5 minutes, and you meet somebody, talk to them for 30 minutes, and you meet somebody and you're doing it, it can start to feel tiring after doing it for 3 or 4 hours straight. So usually when I sign up for Cambly, I'll work like 3 hours straight. But although recently I have some permanent students, which is kind of nice, because they're only like a half hour. Which, some lessons with Cambly will be either 5 minutes, or some lessons will end up being 30 minutes, 60 minutes. So yeah, that's how Cambly goes. So now we'll go ahead and move on to the pros. The pros of Cambly are the main reason why I'm still working for Cambly, and why I like Cambly. So the main thing about it is that it is extremely flexible. The best thing about Cambly is that it is extremely flexible. It's also very easy to book and drop hours, which kind of goes with the whole flexibility thing. If you book an hour with Cambly as a teacher and you don't get any students, you still get paid a quarter, $2.50 of your time. So that's something that's pretty nice, I'd say. And I'm also sitting at a 4.9 rating out of 5 on Cambly. So that really helps draw students to me, right? Because I have a high rating. And yeah, when you sign up for that priority hour, you get you get traffic basically drawn to you. So yeah, again, if anybody ends up interested about how I managed to fill my schedule with priority hours, I'll create a tutorial about that. But in general, another pro is it's very fun to meet people from all around the world. I've spoken to people from the Middle East. I've spoken to people from Asia, different countries in Asia. I've talked to people in South America, mostly from Brazil, but I've talked to some people from Mexico as well. And it's been pretty cool meeting all of these people from all over the world and having these great conversations, learning about their culture, learning the personalities of people from these different countries. I thought that was really, really cool. So that's another pro, because right now, with the other companies that I've worked for, it's been primarily children, maybe like 17 or younger, that I have taught. Mainly children, though. So the conversations that I'm having with these adults, especially since most of them can speak a decent enough level of English, the conversations that I'm having with them can be intriguing and can really be fun and just interesting all around. So yeah, that's definitely a pro of Cambly. Let's see. Oh yes, and by far, another big pro for Cambly, another great thing about Cambly is that if you're serious about teaching online, it's probably the best website to get started on. And the reason why I say that is because of how flexible it is. you will be able to gain experience, which is the main thing that you need to get started teaching, is you need experience. And since this one is so flexible, since Cambly is so flexible, and really the only requirement that you need is a TEFL certification, which is easy to get. That's all you need, so you can get started and get going on teaching online. And once you have experience, then you can transition to a bigger company that'll pay you more. So I started with Cambly after I already had experience and was working for a bigger company, but I definitely think that this is by far the best company to start with, to try to get your feet wet and just try to get that experience that you need to work your way up so that you can start working online. So my conclusion about Cambly, or the TLDR, too long didn't read, TLDW, too long didn't watch. I don't know if you'd actually skip this far ahead just to see the TLDW, but anyways, my conclusion is that if you're just getting started with teaching online and need experience, then Cambly is a great website to start using. Or if you need to fill in your schedule, like myself, then this is also a great place to start working. Now, there are other websites out there that you can attempt to fill your schedule with, but I've noticed that Cambly is pretty reliable on that. And again, if people are interested, I will be making a tutorial that goes into the mechanics of working for Cambly and how to best, just how to do it in the most optimal way, so that you can make the most out of your experience. So I also think that it is possible to work here full-time, or work on Cambly full-time, but you would have to work very, very hard to do that. Because like I said, if you sign up for an hour of priority hour, if you sign up for an hour, or for a priority hour, then you will, you won't even necessarily get that entire hour of pay. So say during that hour you only get a 30-minute lesson, then you only got paid 30 minutes. So is this a primary source of income? No. But as I said before, the two main reasons to work for Cambly is to gain the needed experience to start teaching online with other companies, and to fill in your schedule. Because for me, as an online teacher, during the day, I have a free time. So why not work for a company that I can work during the daytime, make a little bit of extra money. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope I gave you all the information that you need to maybe be interested in starting with Cambly. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll see you next time, alright? Bye-bye!